Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You ready for this?
Yep.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
What it do, what it don't, what it is, and what it ain't. It's your boy, Don Otaku, aka Don Solo, aka Solo the Don, aka Solo D Swaggy, aka the reigning champion of the world.
Perfect.
And this is Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast, episode 33. I feel like I'm off.
33?
33.
Expeditions?
I think we on Expedition 33, bruh.
Immortals?
33 Immortals, all that. Let me check. I definitely be forgetting sometimes. No. Last week's episode was 33. We on 34.
Got it. Okay. We already got gamaged. It's over for us.
Episode 34. And of course, I'm here with my co-host, Subegels, aka Subeg, aka the Green Thumb, aka the Gaming Gardener, aka what we got for you today?
Ooh. We'll just go back to being the master of elements.
The master of all elements.
Yeah.
And of course, we are here to talk about gaming and sometimes a little bit more. But before I talk about gaming, what's been up with you? How you been?
Bro, I think you completely skipped your intro, bro.
Did I did my intro.
I didn't hear all the I'm Don Otaku, aka.
I did not hear that. That was the first thing I did.
Bruh, I'm tripping that. Okay, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm super excited for Doom. Actually, been listening to the soundtrack. But as I've been doing, can we go through my notes real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, bet. All right, so we'll just go through. We'll just talk about the first one actually. So before we recorded, I mentioned that I have this little Doom a bottle opener, but we're talking about loot crate and stuff like that. But it's nice because this thing is a little magnet. I can put it on my PC. Got a little bubbly. I can pop it open, you know. But yeah, I used to do loot crate and stuff. I forgot why you wanted me to bring this up, but I brought it up though.
All right. I also used to get a crate, or at least I tried out a loot crate kind of thing, but it was called. I want to say it was called the Otaku box or some shit like that.
Okay.
Let me make sure before I slander these fuckers. I think it was the Otaku box. Okay, obviously,
Otaku box.
Don Otaku. Like,
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, Otaku box. Yeah, bro, I gotta get on this. So they like. I think in Loot Crate, do they like ask you like your preferences and stuff like that, and what kind of things you like, and then or is just random every month?
I haven't, dude. I did it so long ago. Like I think I was saying like I used to do it when I first got a job. So like this was like 2016, but back then I remember they used to have like it was like either you can do like a gaming loot crate or you can do like a general loot crate or you can do it was like a few different types that you can get.
Yeah.
And I always did like the gaming stuff, and like sometimes it would even be themed like some themes it was like sometimes it was like Halo or sometimes it was like Doom, and that's where I got this little bottle opener. But I don't know how it is now though, to be honest.
So yeah. So I saw this. I think Crunchyroll or someone was advertising, and I was like, bro, hell yeah, I'm gonna check this shit out. So
Yeah.
Price was like 35 a month or 30 a month or some shit like that. It was crazy. I mean, I guess not really crazy, but I was like, okay, let me try it out, see how the first two boxes go, and then we gonna go from there. So you know, they curate, they like ask me like, yeah, man, what kind of anime you like, and blah blah blah. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, bro. I'm like, yeah, bro, My Hero. Well, I don't even. It was like 2017, so I don't even know what I was actually watching back then. But you know, I was like, okay, and they're like, all right, we gonna ship your box and we gonna get you the shit. I'm like, all right, bro. I was excited, waiting for this Otaku box to come in. Finally comes. I made a video to unbox. I was like, all right, guys, look, we're unboxing the first Otaku box. Let's see what we get, bro. Otaku box, count your days, because they need to change their name, because there was nothing otaku about that box. You know what it was? It was the weeb box. It was the weeaboo box. Because the only thing I got was some swimsuit figurines, some half naked anime girl posters, a cheat like
they gypped you, man.
so, like pins, all just like and like ecchi anime girls. That's it. The only like all right thing that I got was this cheap ass plastic ass fairy tale wallet with Natsu on it that I got. That was like the only thing that was otaku in there. Everything else was literally just fucking like almost hentai shit. I'm like, bro, who the fuck do y'all think I am? I'm not hanging any of this shit up on my wall. Do I look like a degenerate? Who is the fan base of this shit?
That's hella funny, bro.
And then I'd already locked in for 2 boxes, so I was like, bro, like it's a wrap. I'm over here like, bro, don't send me no bullshit this time. They doubled down on the bullshit. I was so mad. I still have this like swimsuit Hatsune Miku figurine that's just in the box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, bro.
Yeah.
Look, they got me effed up, bro.
I think that's honestly one of the reasons why I stopped doing the loot crate thing too, because it was just like I just didn't like the unpredictability, you know, like sometimes you'd get some cool shit, but other times it'd be like, and then sometimes it was even like you would get like duplicates of some stuff that you would get previous. So it's just, yeah. But yeah, that's hella funny. They probably have I think they even have like snack boxes like that too now, huh? Yeah. I've always wanted to try those, but I don't know. Like the Japanese snack boxes, like yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Should be overpriced
but,
as hell.
Yeah, but damn, I wish I kind of had a little Modelo right now. To be honest, that'd be nice. But okay, so
is that loud on your side? Like super loud?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
It's good. It's good. But that's my first little point. The second point is, bro, I'm still super excited for the Switch 2, right? But I've been looking at a lot of like the gameplay that people have been like capturing at like the various city tour things that Nintendo's going to, and you might hate me a little bit for this, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think a lot of, you know, I'm super excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Like I'm super excited for it, but I think this jump to like higher fidelity has made that game like lose a little bit of character as compared to like Mario Odyssey. Cause like it just, I don't know, dude. It's lacking a little bit of visual flair to me. Like
with my glasses, bro.
But that ties me into the second game is Drag X Drive, right? That game also lacks visual character, right? Or am I wrong?
That game definitely, but Donkey Kong lacking visual character?
It kind of does, bruh. I don't know. It's like I obviously haven't played it yet, and I'm still excited for it. I'm gonna pick that game up day one because it comes out a week before my birthday, so I'm gonna treat myself. But yeah, that was just my second point. I just kind of want to see your reaction when I said that, to be honest. But but we'll see, because Nintendo has kind of struggled when like they've given like a jump in power, right? Like their games kind of like they kind of like experiment with how their games look, is what I'm trying to say. So it's like this is probably their experimental phase, like coming back up. But I'm excited to see what the next gen Pokemon game is gonna look like, because I think that this generation might be the comeback for Pokemon. I think that actually might happen this. No, you're not feeling that one? That's hella funny. All right, okay, so then I'm crying, bro. That shit is hella funny. All right, so the next point that I had is damn, I laughed so hard my ab actually kind of hurts. But my next point was that I was kind of reminiscing on the like build up to the Switch 2, like how like long we've known like about what parts and stuff are in it, you know, like the T239.
Yeah, all of that shit was basically confirmed before we even got the specs.
Yeah, and then like the hype cycle, like around this time last year was when we learned that the Joy-Cons were gonna be magnetic, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like I was just reminiscing about how long the buildup was to this fucking console, and then like even back when the OLED was coming out, people were like, "Oh, the Switch Pro is gonna come out," and then and at that time the chip was already made. Like the chip that they're using for the Switch 2 is already out there, or not out there in like public.
It was,
but, like,
it was the T234, and the T239 was like the variant of it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like they could have dropped it then, but then like COVID happened, and then everyone
it was supposed to come out
Switches
a lot sooner. So when people keep bringing up, oh, they're using old tech, it was like, yeah, because they literally had this console, like they were supposed to bin drop this shit.
Yeah, but yeah, I just been reminiscing. We're only like 3 weeks away now, a little bit more than 3 weeks. So, damn, maybe no, I think it's 21 days actually. So we are 3 weeks 21? Away. So 21, but yeah. So I think that's all I got. I'm still cooking on Lognet. I've been playing a lot on I've been playing a lot on everything, like a little bit of everything. I took my Switch to the gym one day. I was doing some cardio with it, playing a little bit of Metroid Prime Remaster, and then I come home. I'm playing Freedom Wars on my PlayStation. I'm playing a little bit of Rebirth on my PlayStation. Playing on my PC, playing a little bit of Clair Obscur on the Xbox. So I've just been playing a lot, but I've been. Dude, no game has been really grabbing me, like no game has made me want to like only play that. Like I play like an hour of these games and I was like, I kind of want to move on to something else. Like I'm kind of feeling very like I'm jumping a lot with the games. Like nothing's really like grabbing my attention like that. So I hope Doom the Dark Ages changes that. I'm super excited, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, bro. As for myself, I've been doing Cooch. I said Cooch, that's crazy. I've been doing Gucci. But I don't know what's been going on.
Yeah.
But a lot of these people out here got me effed up, bro. But first, I want to talk about music for a second, because
okay.
My music taste has been effed up. I don't want to curse too early in the show, because then they be tripping. But
yeah,
they got my taste, my music taste all effed up. And you know whose fault it is? Huh. It's Fortnite's fault, because Fortnite got me like full on jamming Sabrina Carpenter. Because of the music, like her thing is I keep on using her emotes, and now I got that shit stuck in my head, and it's a wrap for me, bro. But there's a certain Kanye song that's been making the rounds.
Oh no.
And as a Kanye stan, I have to say that I do not condone anything that he is saying in that song, or any of the I don't even know what to call it, but any of the political views of Kanye does not I do not condone any of that. So, but I have to say that damn song keeps on popping up in my head, and I hate it. I hate him for that, because he still knows how to put a song together. He's the same one who said poopity scoop, and that shit was hard. Like, I can't
you know the
stand
backstory to that song, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a beat for Drake, but then they started beefing, so then he was like, you know what, you're not getting this beat, and then he made that he made Lift Yourself.
Yeah.
And instead of recording a verse or anything, he just said "Whoopity scoop, whoopity whoop, whoopity scoop."
Master troll. He's a master troll, man.
Master troll. But yeah, this song keeps getting stuck in my head, and I'm like, I can't. But I can't not at the same time. So count your days, Kanye. But yeah, other than that, that's all I wanted to talk about. But as far as these games go, bruh, honestly, it's crazy. Towerborn has been like the only game. Well, yeah. So Towerborn has been the only non-review game that I have been really sticking with. Yeah. Every day I get at least an hour or two in. So I've been basically just playing by myself and grinding out each weapon. I got the Pyro class to 30, and then now I've basically neglected the sword and shield the whole time. So now I've been leveling up the sword and shield, and I keep on trying to like force myself to I keep trying to force it, since you basically have to start over from scratch when you switch to a new weapon. Like your level is not going to be the same. You're not going to have the same HP, defense, or anything. Can't even wear the same armor. So I'm over here trying to force it. Like, you know what? I have enough skill that I can just skip to level 4, like difficulty 4. With a level 2 sword and shield. Obviously that shit did not work out at all. But I keep trying to go above above the difficulty that is recommended, and I keep trying to, just so I can level up faster, because I'm like, I don't want to like only do the recommended because I'm not getting enough XP for me. So I'm trying to speed it up, but I always get to the end, and then I end up dying, and then I still get XP for it, but I don't get the max XP, and I don't get the rewards that come with it. But also it wasn't as good of a thing as I thought doing this, because the gear that you get, the loot, is also too high of a level for you to even wear anytime soon. So it is kind of better if you just do the recommended levels, so that you can actually equip the loot that you get. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this game. It's just my go-to after, like, once I'm done with my whatever game I'm playing, this is like my wind down game afterwards every night. So yeah, shout out to Towerborn, still enjoying that a lot. And then I put out my impressions for RuneScape, Dragon Wilds, and talked about this a lot on the show already, but the game is a lot of fun, even though there is a lot of work that needs to be done. But since it is early access, I let a lot of that slide because they're in the middle of fixing it. And this game has so much potential. Like, once it hits that 1.0, it might go down as like one of the best survival RPGs out there. Because the mechanics of it, the only, like, if they can upgrade the combat a little bit more, especially, this could be a really good survival RPG. Because mechanically, the level up system, the crafting, the progression of it's really good compared to other games out there, or other survival games out there. It's just, it needs a lot of fine tuning, bug fixing, and the combat needs some work. Not too much, but it could definitely be better. But yeah, that was RuneScape. Check out my early access impressions on Lognet. I wrote like 1,000 words or some shit like that on it. So
nice, that's good.
Yeah, I recommend it though. It's definitely even in its early access form right now, I highly recommend the game.
Question:
Yep.
Do you think it's coming to consoles?
Probably. I mean, it has controller support already, so
okay.
I think they're at least thinking about it.
And you can fully use the controller, right?
Yes, even though it's buggy as hell, because I think I said this last time, sometimes buttons on your controller will just stop working. Like, at one point I couldn't use the right click to crouch anymore, and at one point the A button just disappeared from the interface completely. Like, it wouldn't even show the A button on the, like, whenever I would go to the menu or when I want to interact with something, it wouldn't even show it. It would just be blank. It was like they just lost the file for the A button mapping. It was just like, you can't confirm anything, you can't use your spells, you can't jump. Everything that had to do with the A button was just gone. So I was like, yeah. But most of the bugs, you just go back to the main menu, come back, and then it's working again. So I wasn't too upset about it, or it didn't get in the way as much. But yeah, as far as the controller support, it works really well. It works as good as most survival games do. The menus can be a little janky when trying to, like, when you have like 2 different menus and you're trying to juggle between them, but other than that, it's pretty intuitive. It works really well.
Sick.
Switch to exclusive. That's what's gonna happen 1.0. But yeah.
Does it have like DLSS and stuff like that?
If I'm remembering, it doesn't.
Okay.
But it also runs pretty well. And honestly, like, at first I wasn't really thinking about the game's graphics when I was playing, but like, as I kept playing, I was like, man, this game is actually a really good looking game. It's not trying to be super hype, like super realistic, but it's also not very stylized either. But the environments and the textures and the dynamic lighting is like really good, especially when you compare it to what actual RuneScape looks like, which is dog shit, obviously. But it's a really good looking game, especially during the nights, especially like when the sun starts to set. It's really beautiful. Some of the like vistas and landmarks that you can see in the distance, kind of Breath of the Wild style, they're like really screenshot worthy. And then the water also is actually really good in this game. they surprisingly they've done a really good job with the like graphics and art style. Even like the grass moves as you walk through it, plants and like the flowers and everything moves with your feet. So like they actually have attention to detail. There's like puddles when you walk through the water. When it's raining, you can actually see like your armor, and like depending on if you're wearing leather, you'll see like it has a different texture than like your cape when it's raining. I'm actually kind of surprised by how much work they put into the art style and the graphics. But yeah, that is RuneScape Dragon Wilds. The only other game that I've been playing, which I play almost every night, Fortnite. But I haven't talked about the new season that just started. And that is the Star Wars Galactic Empire update. So they've done a lot of Star Wars collabs. I think they've done at least 2 of them from what I've played. But this is definitely the biggest Star Wars update that they've done, because they have literally replaced every single weapon in the game with only Star Wars weapons. They're all blasters. And these blasters do not have ammo. So there's no more ammo, and like you literally have unlimited ammo with every gun, but they have cooldowns. And I'm still getting used to the weapons, because now I'm so confused as to like which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones, because it's just a bunch of numbers and like letter, number, blaster. I'm like, bro, that doesn't do anything for me. I don't know what this gun does.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure out which ones are like the good ones. They have they have like shotguns, they have rifles, like assault rifle types, they have submachine gun types, they have pistols. And it's the recoil on all of these guns are like terrible. I literally was like, bro, this is why them stormtroopers be missing so much. The recoil is crazy on these guns, bro.
Yeah.
But the sniper in this game is so cheap. That motherfucker is OP, because it is, 1, no bullet drop whatsoever. 2, you can get like 4 shots before you need to cool down, and you don't have to exit aim each time. So you can just, if you have a purple or above, 1 headshot, it's over. 2 or 3 body shots, it's a wrap. And that, like, bro, I be sniping the shit out of people, bro. Like,
yeah,
I be like, I was playing with it, and I was like, bro, if I'm doing good with this sniper, there's a problem, because I'm not even a sniping kind of guy. So
yeah, because you play on controller, so
yeah. So like, if I'm destroying people with this sniper, I know that the people who is already destroying people with the snipers are going crazy.
yeah.
So yeah, the sniper is cool as shit. It's OP. The thing that I do not like, which is so disappointing, the lightsabers are so bad.
Yeah. They're not that strong.
So, you know, I always thought like my melee weapons for the last 3 seasons, they have been OP.
Insane.
So like when we were doing the ninja update, the swords were crazy. That wind sword, that shit was OP. Then we got to Crime City, the knee breaker, crazy OP. And now I'm like, oh, they added lightsabers. Okay, this shit about to go crazy, bro. Yeah. I cannot for the life of me. Like, I can't kill more than like 1 or 2 people with that shit. When I have a knee breaker, I could take on a full team by myself. When I had the wind blade, I could take on a full team by myself. Obviously, it's going to depend on their skill level, but I can take out one person with that lightsaber, and then it's over for me.
Yeah.
So they have 3 different types now. At first, they only had 2, but they just added Mace Windu's lightsaber, and they had obviously Jedi lightsaber, and then the Sith lightsaber, red. And if you have the Sith one, you can force lightning. That ability is actually really good. It works. It's actually pretty powerful. But if you have the Jedi lightsaber, then it's force push. But it doesn't do anything. Like, the only time it's useful is if you're fighting on top of a mountain and you're trying to get them to take fall damage, or you're fighting at the end and you're trying to push them into the storm. That's literally the only time that it's useful. Or if you're just trying to escape because the weapon sucks and you don't want to die. So it's like, I don't understand why they gave Force Lightning such a powerful ability, or Sith's such a powerful ability, and then just gave the Jedi's Force Push, and that's it. It's not. Now, the one that is better is Mace Windu's lightsaber, because you have Force Pull, and you can pull someone who's shooting you from afar into you, and then you can slice them up. But that one's a little bit better. But still, the power of these lightsabers are like a full combo doesn't even kill anybody. It's crazy. I used to get like 3 whacks in if they didn't have full shield, and then they'd be dead before. Now it's like I gotta do the full combo and still gotta do a little bit more to get a kill. It's like, nah. They nerfed the hell out of melee in this game, or in this update.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they do something about that. Usually we don't really see like changes like that in the middle of the season, but hopefully if we complain enough. I'm waiting for that survey to be like, how do you feel about lightsaber? I'm like, shit's ass. Stinks. That's exactly how I feel while I'm playing that shit. I'm already dead every time.
That was funny.
But yeah, that's Fortnite. So that's really all I've been playing. Oh, actually, I don't have any footage, but I've been playing on my Switch, and I've been playing a AAA third-party game on my Switch, which is something I normally do not do. But there was a sale, and then we got some confirmation about this game that is going to be upgradable for the Switch 2 for only $10. When at first I thought they were just going to make people who bought it on the Switch 1 pay full price for it, like Sega with Sonic X Shadow Generations. Count your days, Sega. But no, they're giving out or I shouldn't say give it out. They're allowing you to upgrade to the Switch 2 version for $10, which is okay in my book. Like, it's obviously it should be free, but I'd rather it be $10 than full price. So it's a win-lose, I guess. And that is Hogwarts Legacy. And I played Hogwarts Legacy for like an hour, if even that. But I really had no interest in playing it. But since I saw it on sale and they were doing the $10 upgrade, I was like, you know what? This will be good coverage for LogNet. So I put out the article talking about that they're doing the $10 upgrade. And then, bro, this fucking weekend, on Fortnite terrorized us last night. This motherfucker destroyed, like, he killed all three of us. We were playing trios.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, it's the weekend. Like, I got killed. And then, no, actually, I think it was my friend. My friend Will.
What emote did he hit?
Bro, he hit the timeless emote on us after he killed all three of us. So, like, my friend Will, he's like, bro, it's the weekend. He whooped my ass and he dies. And then I come over there to try to help, and then he kills me too. And then it's just my girl left. I'm like, just hide. The weekend is going crazy. Is it like he's gonna kill you if he fights you? So I thought. So then she's hiding and she goes to get our cards, and she's about to go reboot, but then she sees the weekend. Like he goes down into this tunnel or pit or whatever. And we're like, don't go there. Like, and then she go chase after him, and then she got her ass whipped also, and then he hit the timeless on us, and it was a wrap. Look, it was literally about to happen right now. So yeah, fuck the weekend. Put that on record. Have you heard Lil B's The Weeknd diss? For the record,
no.
Hey, you should listen to that, bro. When it comes to disses, Lil B got like top 5 disses single-handedly. His Joe Budden diss, his The Weeknd diss, his Kevin Durant diss, all fire. But yeah, anyways, so. Like I said, I picked up Hogwarts Legacy. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a comparison for Lognet, and I want to see like how the Switch 1 version runs, and then when I get the Switch 2 version, I can do like a comparison between them. So obviously, I heard that the Switch 1 version of Hogwarts Legacy was actually like impressive. It was not what you would have expected, especially knowing that WB is the same one who put out that version of Mortal Kombat that you still see memes about because of how bad the Switch 1 version looked.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like no expectations of the Switch 1 version actually being good, but people were like, no, they actually cooked here. I was like, you know what? Let me see for myself. Bro, whoever handled the port of the Switch version of Hogwarts Legacy, that motherfucker needs a raise, because there's no way that game should look how it looks and run how it runs on that piece of hardware. It was like, I was expecting there to be like a bunch of stutters or something.
Yeah.
That should, like, obviously there's a little bit of dips, but it's like little bit of dips. Mm-hmm. Not Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's not Doom on the Switch. It's definitely not The Witcher. And in certain cutscenes, like sometimes if NPCs are far away, you'll see the texture start to muddy a little bit. But when the cutscenes, when they're close up, the details are actually like pretty decent. Lighting is good. I was like, bro, what the? How am I playing this? And it's obviously it's not stable 30, but it is like very close to stable 30 for the most part. It's not dipping. It's dipping once you like do some fast turns in a very dense area. Now I haven't got to the open world yet, so maybe some things will change once I get there. I'm still in like the intro part. But even like there's a part where you're on a mine cart and you're like going through like you're going through all of this stuff on the mine cart, and it's all in game. It's not happening in a cutscene. And it wasn't even dipping in, and there's like a bunch of stuff happening while you're just like riding through this minecart. I'm like, bro, the optimization on this shit is crazy. Whoever did this, if like I don't know if it was the internal team or if they got somebody, because it didn't show like usually it'll be like on a Doom port you'll see panic button was the dev or the team that did the port of that, or you'll see Virtuos who does a lot of Switch ports. There was no company that like there was no logos besides WB, so maybe it was the internal team and they just really like put their heads down and made a full-fledged Switch 1 version, which if they did, like, Ed Boon, count your days, because how the fuck did, bro, it's Mortal Kombat is a 1v1, well really 2v2 now, but 1v1 for the most part fighting game on a one dimension, like 2-dimensional map. There's nothing crazy going on versus, why are you doing this?
Oh.
Hold on, I forgot how I did this shit. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So on this 2-dimensional map, and there's no reason that game should be looking like they fixed it a little bit, but it still looks pretty bad at the end of the day. Bro, Hogwarts Legacy looks better than Mortal Kombat on the Switch, and it's an open world game. It don't make no sense, honestly. But yeah, I was actually impressed playing it on the Switch, and I was really just like, bro, miracle workers. We need whoever this team was to split off into their own porting team, because they know how to optimize. But yeah, that was Hogwarts Legacy. My impressions of it. Now I'm excited just to do like the comparison between that and the Switch 2 version. I'm hoping. Well, actually, we have a topic for us. So I guess I'll talk more about Hogwarts Legacy in a little bit.
Sure.
But with that, let's go ahead and get into some news. Actually, before we get okay. First, a little bit of news before, just one topic before we get into everything. Just a heads up PSA that is also kind of a topic. If you are a Steam user, go change your passwords right now, because there was a data breach, there was a hack, and 89 million Steam users lost, or I shouldn't say lost their data, but have had their data compromised, including passwords and whatnot. So if you are a Steam user, I would recommend going ahead and change your password. Now 2FA obviously does its job for the most part, but just to be on the safe side, might as well go ahead and switch. Better safe than sorry.
Yep.
But yeah, data breaches, hacks, happens to the best of them. Steam, I can't remember the last time Steam even had anything like this happen. And it wasn't even, the crazy part is that it wasn't even Steam. It was a company, a third-party company that ended up, like, Steam was associated with, that they basically got hacked and had their data leaked through that company, which, let me see. This was, I'm trying to remember who the company was. Trilio, that's what it was. So it was a vendor called Trilio. And Trilio was the one that got hacked, but Steam, like through Trilio, they got Steam's data. So, yeah, man. But, yeah, how you feeling about this?
I thought you were gonna say Steam player switch to the Switch 2. No.
Oh, that too.
No,
I ain't
that
gonna lie
sucks.
though. As much as we talk shit about Nintendo's network and all this shit, we ain't never seen them get hacked once.
Yeah, but never say never though.
Yeah, never say never. Never say never. All right. But yeah, man.
Yeah, it blows, but it happens, you know.
Yep. Honestly, it's like, what can you do? But it is what it is. Just making people aware.
Yep.
Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's not like Valve has any games that would leak from a data breach, so it's not even exciting. But yeah, let's get into the on the radar. So I have one on the radar, and this game has been one I'm looking forward to for a while because I never got into this series, but I've only heard good things, and they're remaking the first game. So I was like, this is the perfect time for me to finally dive in. But now that I've actually seen some of the gameplay, oh bro, it's definitely on the radar now. And that is Trails in the Sky First, the remake of the first Legend of Heroes game. And they cooking with this gameplay because they've changed the gameplay up to be like Metaphor, where you start off in action combat, which they call quick battle, and then once you finish the quick battle, if the enemies don't die from the quick battle, you'll go into command battle, and that's when you get into the turn based. And then I was like, oh, bro, they got me. Ever since Metaphor did it, I was like, yeah, bro, we need more games to have this hybrid action RPG, turn-based RPG. The best of both worlds is so good. Honestly, Final Fantasy, take notes. Because if Final Fantasy could pull that off, like have that Final Fantasy 7 gameplay, but then with like harder enemies, you go into the turn-based combat, I would die. That would be heaven.
It kind of has it. It tries to like Rebirth, because you haven't played Rebirth yet.
Well, yeah,
right?
I guess I haven't played Rebirth, so I guess I'll see when I do. But
because in Rebirth, it so it is obviously active combat, but like you can pick like your whole party's skills and like stuff like that, and like I don't know, it does try to blend it, but it still is very much active combat for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I've heard so many things from like Maddie and also, why am I forgetting his name? Sean Mason about the Legend of Heroes franchise and how it's like the MCU of JRPGs, and all of these games link up. They all have like individual stories that are in the same universe, but then all of the implications like are finally starting to come together in this Avengers style game. And I like, but when you think like, when I was thinking of like, bro, all these JRPGs I have to play through 40-hour, 50-hour, 60-hour games, and like the first games are like outdated as fuck now.
Yeah, and they're starting to remake them.
So now, I was always like, I want to play, but at the same time, I don't want to play these old ass games before getting to like the newer good stuff.
Yeah.
So with this remake, it's like, oh, yeah, y'all got me, bro. I'm diving in with this first one.
Mm-hmm.
So if they continue remaking the next few early games that are like the chibi 2D, 3D type of games, I'm here for it. But yeah, okay. I love this new combat. Like, it looks really good. The art style looks amazing. I'm here for this. I love everything about this. Giving me it gives me some Tales of vibes with, honestly, I don't know if I think we've talked about this game before, so I think you do know, but Eternal Sonata, I don't know if you played that one.
Yeah.
It's giving me...
It was a PS3 exclusive, right?
It was on Xbox 360.
It was?
Yeah, it was on Xbox 360 first. Or in America, I think it was only on Xbox 360, and then it came to PS3 later.
I might be thinking of a different game then.
But yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm excited to get my first dip in the Trails in the Sky. Or Legend of Heroes, I should say. But that's my on the radar. Did you have anything?
Since you brought up Maddie, I'm actually curious about his game. I feel like he might be gearing up to drop it soon. What you think?
I haven't been listening to Defining Duke in so long, so I wouldn't know.
Because the last time I listened to Defining Duke, they were talking about his game, and like he was saying like he's showing it off to like COG and stuff. So it's like I'm actually curious to see what it is, because it's supposed to be like a JRPG. So we'll see. Maybe he gives us exclusive access to it. We can cover it for Lognet. That'd be sick. But yeah, that'd be sick. Maybe I should write in to DD, shoot my shot, be like, Maddie, let us cover the game. Throw us a little bone. But nothing on the radar. Obviously Doom, that comes out in like an hour. Like, it literally comes out like right now. but yeah, that's really it, honestly.
Sir. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some of the news then.
Sure.
All right. We have some tragic news.
Oh no.
Kingdom Hearts has been canceled. The next Kingdom Hearts has been canceled. It's official. It's not happening, guys. But obviously, not talking about Kingdom Hearts 4. I am talking about Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. And that was the mobile / Steam game that was... All I can say is it looked good, because I really don't know what it was trying to be or what it was trying to do. But it definitely looked like Kingdom Hearts, and that's all I cared about. But the official Kingdom Hearts Missing Link team, they put out this note. They said, "We have made the decision to cancel the development of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. We wish to convey our heartfelt apologies to everyone who has been looking forward to the start of service. Although we worked hard on developing and adjusting the game in the hope that it would be enjoyed by lots of players, we determined that it would be difficult for us to offer a service that players would find satisfactory over a long period of time, leading us to the decision to cancel development. We would like to take this opportunity to express our thanks to everyone who gave us their support and assistance with the multiple closed beta tests. We're truly sorry to have to make this announcement. The Kingdom Hearts series will continue. We are hard at work on Kingdom Hearts 4 and hope you'll continue to support the series as you keep an eye out for further updates." So yeah, I was actually excited to try this game. I don't know if I would have liked it or if it would have been something I stuck with, but it looked interesting, and all the gameplay for it and the music that I've heard of it was really good. So I'm kind of disappointed at the very least at missing out on some new Kingdom Hearts music. But how are you feeling about this cancellation? It has Factions 2 energy, with the way that they talked about how they wouldn't be able to support it long term, so that they wanted to cancel it outright.
Yeah, this was the one that actually had the Kingdom Hearts combat, right?
Yep.
Like, it was completely active, right?
Yep.
Damn, yeah. And didn't this game have betas or something?
Yes.
Or
multiple betas.
That fucking sucks, dude. They should at least put it out. You know, try to get it on the Switch, maybe. Like try to get it on a mobile devices. I don't know, bruh.
Hey man, rework it, turn into a Switch exclusive. Let it hey, go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
exactly. Just make it into like a little 15-hour experience. Do something. We need that Kingdom Hearts now. We ain't trying to wait on Kingdom Hearts 4 in 2029.
But I will say, I think we're gonna get Kingdom Hearts 4 something next month, bro. I'm calling it right now. We're getting it. We're getting a new trailer, new snippet, new something, bro. It's been way too long.
You believe that? You believe that?
I believe that, bruh.
Bruh.
But anyway, I would be happy if that happened. I don't see it happening though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think it's gonna happen, bro.
I don't think we're gonna see Kingdom Hearts 4 until 2027. That's what I think. But yeah, sad development, especially for people like me. But it is what it is. As long as Kingdom Hearts 4 hits, it's all good, I guess. All right, so let's talk about Ubisoft, because it seems that they are delaying a lot of their big IP projects to make sure that they are at the best that they could possibly be. So this was written up by Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. Says Ubisoft has announced during its end-of-year financial earnings that it's made the decision to delay some of its major IPs and games to improve on game quality. The news, which was announced today, was said to be made because of the benefit the company has seen from delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows, which has become one of the company's highest-rated games in the past decade. In the financial report, it said, after a thorough review of its pipeline that took place from October to December, the group decided to provide additional development time to some of its biggest productions in order to create the best conditions for success. This decision has already been beneficial to the quality of Assassin's Creed Shadows. As a consequence, fiscal year 2026 to 2027 and fiscal year 2027 to 2028 will see significant growth versus fiscal year 2025 through 2026 on the back of strong content coming from the group's largest brands. So according to our sources and past reports, Insider Gaming understands that this includes the Assassin's Creed pipeline, which are some of the ones that we've talked about before, and the highly anticipated next installment of the Far Cry series, which has internally been pushed to late 2026. Ubisoft's biggest productions likely also include the Splinter Cell remake under the codename North, and the next mainline Ghost Recon game under the codename Over. The announcement implies that the next year for Ubisoft could be fairly limited in terms of its billion-dollar IPs. However, it's understandable that Ubisoft currently have several smaller they wrote this. It's understood that Ubisoft currently has several smaller experiences around these games in development. Okay. For example, Assassin's Creed has 2 smaller games in development, a multiplayer offering codenamed Invictus, and a remake of Black Flag codenamed Obsidian. In addition, another smaller experience for Rainbow Six is in the works, codenamed Slice and Dice. That's
probably that turn-based one.
Yeah. As of yet, Ubisoft is yet to comment on which games will release in the next 12 months. But according to some sources at the company, they believe that the short-term loss will eventually lead to a long-term gain with quality titles. So yeah, how you feeling about Ubisoft actually learning a lesson?
Yeah, they're not trying to rush out their games, which is probably that like safety net that Tencent brings in. Honestly, it's probably like, we don't need to put out these games and get this revenue because we got Tencent backing us a little bit now. So, I mean, that's probably helping them a lot. I'm not too disappointed. Wait, you said something about Splinter Cell, right?
Yes, Splinter Cell remake is getting pushed back as well.
Splinter Cell 2. Did they say a year or
no.
no? 2027 it is. No. That year's gonna be crazy. We're gonna have a new Naughty Dog game, and we're gonna have Splinter Cell. That's gonna be wild. But fuck, dude. And a new console generation too. Jesus Christ, for Xbox. Wow. Okay, but for Ubisoft, nah, not really. I'm not too worried. It seems like they have a ton of Assassin's Creed stuff coming out, so there's that. I'm excited for the Black Flag remake though, for sure. I was thinking about diving into that one, but I ain't trying to play it at 30 on the consoles, so I'll just wait.
I don't care about Black Flag at all.
No?
Not at all.
That game has a super fun, like, it's like you're like fighting like a shark or something, or a whale. Like, that mini game was fun. I like that one. And then obviously the boat stuff is cool in there.
For me, well, actually, let me put this piece of news that was also related to Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake will release by March 2026.
Oh.
So within the next 10 months, we will be playing Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. So that is something that you can look forward to in the short term, at the least. So with that, I am way more excited about the Prince of Persia remake than I am about Black Flag, possibly even Splinter Cell. I'm not even gonna lie. I like Prince of Persia. That's my GOAT. Like Xbox, PS2, GameCube era, the Prince of Persia is my GOAT trilogy. The Sands of Time trilogy does not get enough love. And mechanically, they basically created Uncharted before Uncharted, because we know. Y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I've literally been holding off on replaying it just for this damn remake that they keep saying is coming out, and then it's not coming out. It's coming out, and they push it back, change teams. And I'm like, bro, it's just Prince of Persia. Like, it's not. How are y'all messing this up so bad? But I think we're gonna see it in June for sure, because when else are they gonna show it? We're gonna see it at the Ubisoft Forward for the first time since that original showcase, which I ain't gonna lie, graphically, yeah, it looked like a remaster, not a remake. But I didn't care, bro. I just wanted to play the game. Like, if it would have came out then, look at how it looked, I would not have cared. I was like, hell yeah, we still jumping over enemies and slicing them in the back. Hell yeah, we still wall running to a pole and then swinging and then doing the backflip and then we dodging like that's all I cared about. The gameplay is what I'm here for when it comes to Prince of Persia. So yes, the game could look better. That don't mean I wanted to wait 4 extra years for better graphics. Like, all those people who complain, count your days. That's all I gotta say. All of you motherfuckers who complained about this shit, count your fucking days, because I have to wait 4 years because y'all didn't like the graphics of the game. That shit was coming out the year that they announced it was when it was supposed to come out, and they pushed it back for 4 years because of some graphics. I will. All right. Crazy, bro. I could have been played this game. So anyways, I'm excited that at least Far Cry is next year also. So if both of those come out next year, that's a good run for Ubisoft for me. I'm looking forward to that next Far Cry. Everything we've heard about it so far is sounding like not the usual Far Cry, so that's looking good for me. But yeah, anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, I'm excited too. I think that the Prince of Persia remake is being done in their India team, right? Or am I wrong?
I think they moved it to Quebec or Montreal, whichever one.
Oh, okay.
I think the original team was one of their smaller ones, and then they were like, yeah, we got to pass it over to one of the big boys.
Yeah, they're like, these dudes are noobs. They'll hopefully get there. I think even PlayStation has their India Hero project too, right? Or am I think they have like the China Hero project and like the India Hero project.
Yeah. Xbox also has their own India thing also.
Okay. Damn, man, I kind of wish they put out the product too, man, just to. But I feel like if they did, they would probably have gotten really bad scores, like 70s, maybe even lower. So maybe they saved themselves from releasing a bad scoring game.
Man, they don't care about them damn scores. They care about if people playing them. And I would have been playing it. I mean, I was playing Prince of Persia Lost Crown, and obviously that didn't sell enough either. So I guess it is.
That game. I hope that game gets a Switch 2 upgrade. That'd be nice.
Bro, don't. I mean, honestly, it don't need it. It's not like it's like it's a smooth 60 on the Switch. Yeah, so I'm not really tripping. Yeah, but at the same time, it was already a good experience on the Switch, so I'm not tripping too hard.
Sure.
Honestly, it don't even need a Switch 2 version. It just needs a resolution bump, and that could, if it's adaptive, or if they just put it dynamic, then they don't even need to really do anything else. But yeah, that is Ubisoft. Give me 1 second. Let me close this door, and then I'm gonna be.
You're good.
Right back. All right. So, what's next? All right.
Did you see I don't know if this is in your notes, but did you see the creator's voice for Borderlands?
The what now?
The creator's voice?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah, that bro, if the gameplay they showed in there is Switch 2 gameplay,
I don't think they show any gameplay unless it's the Switch 2 or Switch 1 version of the game.
Because they showed a little bit of gameplay.
Yeah, they would have to put a disclaimer at the bottom if it was anything else.
Because if what they showed, yeah, I just see the Nintendo ninjas. But if they if that is actually Switch 2 gameplay, that's hella impressive in my opinion. But I mean, that dude, what's his name? Randy Pitchford, Randy Orton.
Definitely one of the few Randys that we do not appreciate around here.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, he was blazing hard.
Yeah, he was blazing the Switch hella hard, bro.
I hate how he was talking in that video.
Yeah, dude, it sounded kind of pretentious, to be honest.
And I grew up with Nintendo, and I was like, bro, this is not even how you talk. Like, what are you doing?
He was saying like, oh yeah, the Switch 2 gives us the power to make the game how we want to. I was like, didn't you guys just show this game on the PS5 Pro at the fucking PlayStation? But hey, that's just hella funny. I'm excited for it though. The game looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But I was watching it. I was like, yeah, bro, that Switch 2 version might get me over there. It was looking a little too crispy. I ain't like that. But yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about Nintendo. Specifically the Nintendo store, because the San Francisco store just opened and it actually has a new feature.
Here to go.
Or a new service that they're doing that I haven't seen at any of the other ones in America, at least. And that is that you can now customize your very own Switch OLED and it's at MSRP, $349.99. So actually, let me go ahead and just let me send this over to you so you can see.
Yeah, what the heck? No way.
I'm gonna put it in the gaming news channel.
Okay.
If that even worked. I don't know if it...
The video is private.
Did they private it?
It's not, it didn't pop
Damn,
up for
it
me.
took off. Already took it off. Well, all right, here's a picture at least, but damn, that sucks because the video was actually, I guess they showed something they weren't supposed to. It was IGN. But they were literally showing you can just pick the colors that you want. You can pick the color of the straps. You can pick the color of your dock. And you can mix and match however you want. And then they have them at the counter ready for you. When after you pick what you want, they have all of the pieces, all of the hardware ready for you. You can just leave with it the same day. Don't even have to worry about like shipping it or like how long it takes. Like making a custom Xbox controller is literally just there in the store.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, if I was in the market for a Switch, or if they had this for the Switch 2 launch, bro, this would, I would literally go to San Francisco just to do this shit. Not even gonna lie to you. But yeah, man, I've always wanted this to be something that I can just do on the website and just order like this. But
yeah, dude,
they need to do that. Once they have enough Switch 2 like colorways and stuff, we need this to be something you can just do from the store, not the store, but online and order. But yeah, I need that purple, the purple Joy-Con. Let me see, what would my color combination be? Now I don't even know what I would do because I never think about the straps also. Now that they have different color straps too, it's like, bro, there's too many combinations I could do.
Yeah, that Switch 2, whenever they do this for the Switch 2 is gonna be crazy. Dude, I'm kind of upset that they didn't do like the two colorways like how they did with the Switch launch, where they had like the gray and then they had like the colored one. I'm kind of upset they didn't do that.
Did you want a gray?
No, I wanted the colored one.
You did a colored one. What are you talking about?
No, well, the sticks are colored, yeah, but
oh, you mean like the full color? I see what you mean.
like I want the whole thing to be colored. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till they do this for the Switch 2. Those accessories are gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I'm actually
I gotta go there, dude. I gotta go.
I'm kind of excited to see how they customize, because now that they can customize the shell, but also they can do the little ring. They can have different colors for that too. I want to see how they go, especially like special editions.
Yeah,
it's about to be fire, bro. All right, next Otaku. Let's stick with Nintendo for just a bit, because did you know that Super Mario World is launching in 2026?
Movie?
Super Mario World.
Like the park?
So the sequel movie was leaked to actually be titled Super Mario World.
Got it.
For the Super Mario Brothers movie franchise.
Okay.
Which is actually really good. I love that. Because they could have obviously did the obvious thing and just say Super Mario Brothers 2 and then Super Mario Brothers 3 and then do Super Mario World. But I feel like Super Mario World is the only sequel out of those, or how do I say it? Super Mario World is a great, like, it's because it was a new console and everything. It was like the first one that was like, bam, like, oh shit, this is a new Mario game. Like, if you know what I'm trying to say, like,
yeah,
the leap from Super Mario Bros. To Super Mario World was like, oh shit, this is on another level. Obviously, Super Mario Bros. 3 was definitely a lot better gameplay wise than Super Mario Brothers, but Super Mario World took everything to another level. So I think this is an excellent title for the next movie. So this was actually leaked in the NBC Universal, like they had a little press release talking about the Universal Pictures movies that they got coming out. They're like, you know, we got Universal Pictures Focus Features, DreamWorks Animation, Illumination, and then got movies including Megan 2.0, Nobody 2, Bad Guys 2, How to Train Your Dragon live action version, Downtown Abbey, the grand finale, Black Phone 2, Him, The Phoenician Scheme, Super Mario World, Shrek 5, and Minions. And people were like, wait a minute, Super Mario World? We didn't even know that was the title. And then they quickly took it down. They removed Super Mario World from that. So it looks like that's what we're gonna be watching 2026. I can't wait for the trailer, bro.
You're gonna be surprised, but I haven't seen the first one yet.
I mean, I'm not surprised,
bro,
because it's you and you don't watch movies. But at the same time, I'm still disappointed.
I know. I gotta watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I need to watch that one. Yeah. I need to watch the Sonic movies. And I do want to watch Gran Turismo still. I haven't seen that one yet, but I want to watch that. And then what's it called? You gotta
watch Borderlands to prepare you for Borderlands. No, you gotta watch the Borderlands movie to prepare yourself for Borderlands 4. Come on.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't watch that shit.
I'll watch I also kind of wanted to watch the I'm forgetting the name. The PlayStation car game with the shooting and all that, and like the clown guy.
Yeah.
There you go. I gotta watch that show too, because I heard that one.
I haven't watched that one either, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, I gotta watch all these shows, man.
See, I'm more likely to watch a movie than a show, because, you know, movie, get it over with, 2 hours. Like, show, you gotta invest. Exactly. I still haven't watched all of the Fallout show, which is crazy. But yeah, the Super Mario Brothers movie, in a way, it disappointed me, but in a way, it's also one of the best video game adaptations. And what I mean by that is that as a movie, it didn't do things that I want in a movie. Yeah. But as a Mario adaptation, it captures the feel of what a Mario game is actually like, which means story stuff is backseat. It's all about the spectacle of the moment and the spectacle of what's going on versus the actual storytelling. And so, like, as a movie, I have gripes with the pacing, but when I think about it, the pacing literally felt like a Mario game. It was always like, bam, on to the next. Like, you didn't have time. They weren't like taking time to like flesh out the characters and dialogue and stuff like that. But for a Mario, like for the Mario movie, it makes it feel like you're literally watching a Mario game happen. Like you're on the sideline watching someone play a Mario game. That's how I felt. And then all of the Easter eggs, like they filled it to the brim with just a bunch of stuff for fans. If you pay attention, it was like the more I watched it, it's like, oh bro, you like I missed that they had this in there. Like, so it's and then I hate Illumination. They're one of the worst animation studios out there. But Big Miyamoto literally forced them to make the best visual movie that they have ever made. Like, when you look at any of the Despicable Me or Minions or the Dr. Seuss movies, and then you look at Super Mario Bros., night and day difference, bro. That shit is literally like Nintendo making Ubisoft make a polished Mario game with Mario plus Rabbids, like one of their most polished games. Like, whenever Nintendo gets in there, they like, nah, that shit is not gonna cut it. So y'all gonna have to step it up when we in the room. And I'll fucks with that. But yeah, visually it's impressive. The Easter eggs is like, it's really engaging every time you watch it. Just trying to figure out what else kind of hidden stuff that they have. But yeah, it's a really fun movie either way. I just think that if they would have actually took some, because the movie is short and it just needed like an extra 20 minutes to just flesh out a few things. That's like, if they just had a director's cut that just had a little bit more stopping and dialogue and actually fleshing out stuff, it would be a perfect movie. So in a sense, I say Sonic is a better movie. Like, all the Sonic movies are better movies than Super Mario Bros. But Super Mario Brothers movie is a better adaptation of Mario than the Sonic movies is an adaptation of Sonic. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
So yeah. With that, I'm super excited for the next Mario movie. Obviously, if they're doing Super Mario World, I hope that Yoshi is a big part of it, because that's where we got our introduction to Yoshi. But
Yep. And then Zelda's next after that one.
Yeah, we don't care.
Most likely. Oh, bruh.
As Sony.
It's live action, right?
Sony live action. Avi Arad or whatever his name is. Like, all of those things put together, I'm not hyped for that movie. But at the same time, there's the only silver lining is that West Ball, I think his name was West Ball, who did Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, is the director, and he's actually really good. He's also a big Zelda fan and a big Nintendo fan, so I'm that's the only silver lining in this. But all the other stuff, I still think the cards are stacked against us at the end of the day.
They should have went to Ghibli with the Zelda movie.
Bro, then we wouldn't be getting that shit until 2035.
Hey, but that shit would be the best movie ever made. Bro, a freaking hand-drawn Zelda movie would go crazy, bro. Would go crazy.
Honestly, I wish they would have just stuck everyone. I wish, like, even though I hate Illumination, I wish all Nintendo movies would have just been done by Illumination, so that we can get the Smash Bros. Movie with everyone. But I don't think that's gonna happen if we have some live action, some by Sony, some by Illumination. Like,
it has to all lead up to that. No, I think it might. I think it might.
Like I said, I don't see how it's gonna work with some of them being live action, some of them IP being at other studios. Like, if they were all gonna be done in-house at Illumination, then I could see it happening. But we'll see. All right, let's move on. Let's get back to Hogwarts Legacy. So we did talk about the $10 upgrade earlier in the show. Mm-hmm. And Shout out to WB for actually not being pieces of shit.
Yeah, Sega could learn a little lesson here on Shadows for sure. Shadow Generation.
Which that Sonic, all the Sonic games need that shit the most. On like all the Sonic games on Switch run like ass. So they should be offering free upgrades, if anything, for the people. But I digress. But yeah, so the $10 upgrade is cool and all, but we also got a little bit of some specs that we can talk about for Hogwarts Legacy. And this is actually coming from Sega because they are the publishers of Hogwarts Legacy in Japan on the Switch version, at least. So according to a PR statement by Sega, who are publishing Hogwarts Legacy for Switch 2 in Japan, the graphical features of the Switch 2 version are, it includes DLSS support, HDR support, and it is 1440p docked, 1080p portable. Now, to put this in perspective, the Series S version runs at 1188p. So that means the Switch 2 version is running at a high, and this is not performance mode for the Series S. This is the quality mode at 30 FPS, 1188p. So that means the Switch 2 docked is going to be running Hogwarts Legacy at a higher resolution than the Series S at 30 FPS. Now, we don't have any confirmation of a 60 FPS or even a 40 FPS mode, but they said improved, like when they were talking about the game, they were talking about improved frame rate. How do you improve over 30? I mean, obviously it could be completely stable 30, but I would think if you're going to say improved frame rates, you probably mean at least a 40 FPS mode or something like that. So yeah. And then there is a listing, or like Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2 is on the eShop, and there are a bunch of screenshots that you can see now, and they are definitely a noticeable jump from the Switch 1 version. They are a noticeable jump from the PS4 and Xbox One version. But yeah, and just another reminder that this was another game that Digital Foundry claimed was running at 720p with no DLSS. After they saw the footage at the Switch 2 event, so you know, don't jump on everything that Digital Foundry says, especially if they don't have the shit in hand, because they have literally been wrong about every game when it comes to the Switch 2, saying that it was lower resolution, no DLSS, and then it comes out that they're way higher resolutions and it's running DLSS.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I also saw people who were like, but that 1440p is using DLSS, so it actually doesn't count. The Series S version is better. All the versions of Hogwarts Legacy on every console is using FSR. So they're using upscaling as well. It's just that DLSS is just that much better, and FSR is shit. So if you tried to go to 1440p, that shit would look like ass on the Series S. But I want to see. What's it called? I want to see like a side by side once it comes out with the Series S version, and see how it's looking. But I guess we'll talk about this a little later. But the only reason that I see some games not running 60 FPS is that the Switch 2 does have just one like noticeable drawback that can kind of hinder 60 FPS, but we'll talk about that once we get to one of our topics later in the show.
Sure.
But yeah, how you feeling about these Hogwarts Legacy resolution specs?
Yeah, the game looks good. I was reading a little bit upon the Switch 2's development for this game, and they even state that they're using the next, they literally say next gen assets. They're not using the PS4 and Xbox One assets. They're using the PS5 and Xbox Series X assets for the Switch 2 port. So that should tell you all you need to know, honestly.
But I was told,
Nah, Digital Foundry's been wrong, man. There's been a lot of videos actually dissecting a lot of their inconsistencies lately. Like it even goes to like some of the PC stuff. Like there was in like this brief moment, I forgot which video of theirs, but I was watching this breakdown of it by some other YouTuber. But he was literally showing like they have like the two CPUs side by side. And it was like an older gen CPU. It was like a Ryzen 5 3600, and the one on the right was supposed to be a Ryzen 5 3600 as well, but they labeled it as the like a brand new part. So it's like it made like the comparison look completely like disingenuous, you know? So it's like I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they're just rushing out content now. They're just trying to play the algorithm. They're not trying to actually be correct anymore.
Yeah, hard to tell what's going on, but
yeah,
if I don't see if they don't say they got the hardware in hand, I ain't anything they gotta say, honestly.
For sure.
But with that, let's move on. Also related to the Switch 2, let's talk about Arc System Works, because they also had a data breach. Did you see any of this?
Nah.
Okay. So Arc System Works had a data breach, which I wrote an article on, because two things came out of this. One we'll talk about a little bit later, but there was some good news and some bad news for sure. The good news is that we got a little bit of information about a couple of new games coming from Arc System Works exclusively for the Switch 2.
Okay.
And one of these, so I'll start with the smaller project that may or may not be canceled. And it is called Project Life. And this game was supposed to launch in March 2025, which was originally planned to be the date that the Switch 2 is supposed to launch. So in another timeline, we were supposed to already have Switch 2s in hand right now. So count your days, Cable from X-Men. He changes timelines and stuff. I got the reference. That's all that matters. Okay. Anyways, so this game was already supposed to launch in March, but we haven't seen anything about it at this point with the Switch coming up so close. So all the information is pretty old, so there's a chance that this game has been canceled, but it's supposed to be an adventure game / like visual novel style game that's supposed to focus on puzzles and something like that. And they had some art assets leak, which have been deleted and I cannot find for the life of me now. But the vibes of those art assets was giving off Hotel Dusk vibes, and that is a DS era point and click adventure game that was just like Another Code, which Arc System Works actually did the remake of the Another Code Recollection that they just did in January of, was that this year or last year? I can't remember. I think it was last year. But yeah, Arc System Works was known for that. So yeah.
Okay.
There's a chance that we're getting some kind of spiritual successor or new game in the Hotel Dusk franchise from what the art kind of looked like in the description of the game itself. But they also said that this game is supposed to be a very, 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 very small project. And by very, 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 very small project, I mean the playtime is 40 minutes to an hour, and it was supposed to cost 500 yen. so about $5, if even
wow.
that. They were comparing it to games like Florence and in what is it called? I forgot the other game. I'm blanking on its name. But yeah, it's supposed to be a very short game, visual novel style. That was just supposed to be something to kind of test out some features for the Switch 2. But we don't know if that game still exists. But there was a second game that seems to be a lot bigger, and this one is actually looking to be a fighting game, which Arc System Works is very well known for. And it is codenamed Watari, which means crossing and or crossover in Japanese. And the target release date was November 25th, 2025. It's using Unreal Engine 5.4, and the only platform listed was Switch 2. And obviously this caused a lot of speculation of what it could be. It could be a Nintendo exclusive fighting game that has crossover, some kind of crossover. A Nintendo 2D fighting game with crossover with the IPs? Is it possible? Could it be?
Sick.
Even honestly, even if it's not all of the IP, I would go for a Fire Emblem fighting game or a Xenoblade Chronicles fighting game with all the characters from all the games. Like, that shit would be sick. And then
I was thinking, oh, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say if it's Arc System Works making it's top tier automatically. Everything that
absolutely.
they do is top tier. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I was thinking like this might be a little crazy too. Instead of a new Smash Bros, this could be like the Smash Bros. Like we get like that'd be sick though.
Don't do that. We're not getting rid of Smash Bros.
No, I'm not getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Not getting rid of it. But like maybe like a spin-off or something. Oh, dude, I see like having
Super Smash.
Like if there's like a Guilty Gear Strive game that's like a Nintendo crossover, like that'd be crazy, you know?
But yeah, I would love to see like even. I want to see like I would love for it to be all IP because I want to see Mario and Kirby and Zelda, like all everything in that Guilty Gear Strive style. That would be
exactly
that would be so nasty, bro.
Ooh.
But
yo,
I hope that these especially this one. I hope this one is still in the works. I hope that it's if it is in the works and it's supposed to be coming out in November, I would expect it to be
announced soon
in the first direct that we get for the Switch 2 post-launch, or like right before launch, depending on how they plan on doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. This news was this shit got me excited. I was actually writing an article about this, and I was pitching my ideas for what it could be.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited. If it's a fighting game coming from Arc System Works, it's guaranteed heat. So looking forward to whatever that is. But also great to see we got a good selection of third-party developers working on Switch 2 exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
Dustbloods,
they're excited.
Hades 2. What's next? Ubisoft, where you at?
Gonna be Rayman, bro. I'm telling you, that'd be crazy.
We don't want Rayman. No, I'm just kidding. We want Rayman. All right, so let's get into some of the big stuff, the big steppers. So we were just talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 specs, all that, but now we can talk about them fully because the full specs have been finally revealed by Nintendo to Digital Foundry, which they put together a chart that actually shows the specs in full of what, or comparing it to the Switch 2, comparing the Switch 2 to the Switch 1. So obviously, if you aren't very well informed of like what these mean, you're just seeing a bunch of numbers on the screen and being like, yeah, that's something. But some of the obvious upgrades: the CPU architecture is going to be 8 cores instead of the 4 cores from the Tegra X1. Docked CPU speeds are lower than the Tegra X1 for whatever reason. Even the max is a little lower, but the mobile speed is a lot higher than, or I shouldn't say a lot higher, but a little higher than the Tegra X1. Not that that matters too much, but I just don't understand why the docked speed is lower when they have the fans and everything. But maybe we'll see a lot more games using that max since it does have those fans. So I guess we'll have to see how it works when they're actually able to test the games while they're docked and see how the CPUs are working when that is happening.
Yeah.
They have 2 cores reserved for the system and 6 available for the developers, while the Tegra X1 on the Switch 1 had 1 core for 1 core for the system and 3 for the developers. Obviously, you want more cores. More cores are better, guys. That's all you need to know. Architecture is Ampere versus Maxwell. That is like 2 generations, maybe 3 generations ahead of what the Switch 1 had. So obviously, that's a good thing. I think it's 2 generations ahead. Them CUDA cores. We love CUDA cores around here. Them AMD boys, no CUDA cores. We don't fuck with none of them AMD non-CUDA core having ass guys over there. But over here in Nvidia town, we have CUDA cores, and that's gonna be that good stuff. That's gonna get your graphics looking right, your DLSS working tight. So 1536 CUDA cores over on the Tegra 239 on the Switch 2. Tegra X1 Switch 1 is only 256. Honestly, I don't know. I know it came out in 2017, but like when you see the Switch 1 specs in real time, it's like, bro,
on paper.
And then you see Tears of the Kingdom running on that, and you're like, bro, how did they do it? But anyways, GPU clocks are much higher on the Switch 2 versus the Switch 1, which like most of them are 30 to 50%, or sorry, more like 30% upgrades. Almost like 40% for the max. So that is good to see. And then the memory, 128 bits LPDDR5 versus 64 bits LPDDR4. Double the upgrade, because not only is it going to a higher class of memory, you're also getting double the amount of bits. Memory bandwidth is considerably, like literally 4 times faster than the Switch 1 docked, and 3 times faster in mobile. So yes, we love that. And we have 12 gigabytes confirmed. Like, even though we knew from the leak specs, Nintendo never actually confirmed that it was 12 gigabytes of RAM. So now we have that. 3 gigabytes will be saved for the system, 9 gigabytes available for games. And then we had on the Switch 1 0.8 gigabytes for the system, 3.2 for the games. Now, realize that 0.8, because people always ask, why didn't the Switch one have game chat? Why didn't the Switch one have themes? Why is there no, like, why doesn't it have all of these features? That 0.8, that's all that they could spare, because developers needed all, like, that 3.2, they needed as much as they could. So at 0.8 gigs of memory for the system, there was just certain things that they could not do. Voice chat was one of them. They had the phone app. Obviously, people did not want to use, if it was going to use your phone, just use Discord at that point. So now 3 gigabytes for the system. Oh, we getting game chat. Oh, we getting video chat. We still don't got no themes. Still don't got no music either. Counter Days Nintendo. But if they wanted to add themes later, they could definitely do that. So yeah. Oops. So yeah, that's all the things that we got confirmations of. But like I was saying earlier, the only thing that's kind of, the CPU is really the only one that's kind of like, I wish it was a little better. But all in all, it's just as packed as I thought it was. And then there were some comparisons with the Steam Deck where on paper the Switch 2 is actually losing to the Steam Deck. So you got the talks of, oh, the Steam Deck is more powerful than the Switch all over again. And the only thing I gotta say to people who actually believe that is the proof is in the pudding. And when I say the proof is in the pudding, I mean, let's just watch this comparison between the Switch 2 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake and the PS5 version. Because I want y'all to show me the downgrades. Because there's only one thing that's super noticeable. And it's not even super noticeable, honestly. It's just like when you see the side by side, it's a little noticeable. But actually, let me just go to the side by side. So here's the PS5 and Switch 2 version side by side. I want y'all to show me, well, where's the downgrades? Where's the difference? If this is a Steam Deck, the Steam Deck is a PS4 at its best, and even then, at its best, and even then, it still doesn't hit how a PS4. And we've seen, you can literally look at games like Final Fantasy VII Remake or Cyberpunk, or these games do not run the best. They don't look the best. They definitely don't look comparable to a PS5. Now, right here is when you can see that difference. Let me see. Did I miss the close up? I think I did. The close up on Cloud's face, that's like the first time you can kind of see a difference between them. The textures on the cheeks are a little harsher on the Switch. They're not as smooth, and then the hair is a little, like, the textures are obviously not as good. But for the most part, if you're not watching this side by side, you would never be able to tell the difference. I ain't gonna lie. Now, obviously, the PS5 version has a 60 FPS option. We still don't know if this one does or not, though. I wish they would confirm that first. Like, if you're gonna have a 40 FPS or 60 FPS version, just put that out there first.
Yeah.
Instead of having us guessing. But yeah, like the hair can get a little bit more and like aliased. You can kind of see artifacting in the hair. But other than that, the lighting, pretty on point. The background textures, the draw distance, everything else is on point. So what are we doing here with these? Like, stop bringing up the Steam Deck, just please. The Steam Deck is not a competitor to the Switch 2. The Steam Deck 2, yeah, definitely. The Legion Go 2, yeah, definitely. Steam Deck 1, no. ROG Ally, maybe. ROG Ally is probably the only one, and like the original Legion Go, that y'all can put some comparisons, because some of those games do run really good on the ROG Ally. But stop bringing up the Steam Deck. It's not cute. Y'all making yourselves look foolish. On paper specs for a console will never mean anything when you're comparing it to a PC. For the simple fact that a console will always be way more optimized than a PC. Whether it's the handheld, whether it's a pre-built, whether it's a PC built from scratch. Optimization will never be on the same level as a locked down console. That is facts. And that is the reason that the Steam Deck, even when we get the Steam Deck 2, there's still a chance that the Switch 2 will still be able to run certain games better. Even with that Z2 Extreme, y'all gonna be like, how is this happening? The Z2 Extreme is the new big and bad. He's supposed to be that guy. Well, I'll tell you how. It's called optimization. So yeah. And it's not even only Final Fantasy, it's literally every third-party game that you can pull up on both. Even just comparing them to the PS5. So here's some more screenshots of, here's Split Fiction, PS5 Pro, Nintendo Switch 2. Now, obviously, you can tell some texture differences. The lighting is a little different between these two also, but if you're looking at these side by side, you're gonna be able to tell. When you're not looking at them side by side, bro, you're not gonna be able to tell. Cyberpunk, PS5 Pro version, Switch 2 version. Honestly, they both look kind of bad. I ain't gonna lie. Like these screenshots, at least, they both do not look good. I don't know why, but they look comparable to each other. Actually, I forgot. I should send these to you so you can actually see.
Sure. Alrighty.
Send you the video. Also, if you wanted to see I'm pretty sure you've seen video comparisons. But yeah, just looking at these screenshots, it's like, come on, man. Stop trying to downplay the power of the Switch 2.
Only thing I have to say is everyone that says the Steam Deck, like the Steam Deck comparisons, that shit's running at 800p, bruh.
And then, bro, the Switch 2 compared to the PS4 Pro, because people try to say like, oh, it's not even a PS4 Pro, or it's only a regular PS4. Why did my shit zoom in again? Look at this, the PS4 version, PS4 Pro version
of
FF7. What's going? Oh, did I mess up the? There you go. I was like, what's going on with the cameras? All right. Wait, they can't even see the full thing.
Only 20 more minutes until Doom. Man, I'm so excited. I need to fucking finish my finals, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Need to finish that shit real fast.
ASAP. Rock.
ASAP. Fuck.
All right. Now we can actually see the full comparisons. My bad. I did not have the comparison. Actually, it was cutting off. So yeah, look at these screenshots, guys, one more time. We're at the point of diminishing returns. 3.1 teraflops is comparable to 12 teraflops. That's how bad it has gotten. Or I shouldn't say it's bad. It's not bad. It's that new architecture, upscaling, all of these things play a factor. Optimization, all of that stuff put together makes that 3.1 teraflops on the level of, I shouldn't say on the level, but you know what I mean. It's comparable. It's not how it used to be, where you look at the 360 version of a game and he's like, look at Call of Duty Ghosts on 360 and look at Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox One. It's like, bro, night and day. We're not at that age anymore. Diminishing returns is a real thing. So yeah, that's all I really have to say on the specs.
Bro, this game looks incredible on the Switch too.
Yeah.
And holy shit!
My take
it's like almost 1-to-1, bro.
My take on the specs is don't listen to the spec. Like, don't keep on talking about specs on paper. It don't matter, because real world use is literally the only thing that should matter to you. And if you can see it with your own eyes that the Switch 2 is putting out graphics that look like that, why do you care about what the paper is telling you? That's that digital foundry mentality that we have had, where you don't even listen. Like, you can't even when you look at a game, you're like, man, this looks good, and then Digital Foundry tells you that it's like, oh, it's 720p upscale to like 988p, and you're like, oh, never mind, I guess this game doesn't look as good as I thought. Like, that shit pisses me off. Digital Foundry has done irreparable damage to this community, and I will not stand for it any longer. So yeah. Anything you wanted to say on the specs though, and the comparisons?
Yeah, man, I'm so excited to see how Rebirth looks and plays, cause we might be in a place where that game might just look literally the same as the PS5 version.
Blurry.
Like, well, the graphics mode on PS5 is okay. It's performance mode that's bad on there. But I don't expect there to be a performance option for the Switch 2, so that's what I'm saying. I expect it to be as on par with the quality. Go for it though.
I was gonna say that's what I forgot to bring up. The CPU is gonna be the bottleneck that stops a lot of these games from having 60 FPS modes. That's literally the only thing that I have. The only spec that kind of is kind of bringing it down, because the CPU is a must for these 60 FPS modes. Well, actually, there's two things that are. It's the memory, which we already know the RAM is a lot higher than the Series S, and right now, even though the Series S has an amazing CPU that's on par with the Series X, the memory is the biggest bottleneck with that 10 gigabytes. So we have 2 full gigabytes more, and I think it's taking up less memory for the system, if I'm remembering correctly. How much memory is being used on the Switch? I mean, on the Series S for the system?
I think it has the full 8 if I'm correct.
No. Well, so it's the full 8. So it's 8 out of 10.
I think so. Let me look it up. How much?
I thought it was like 2.5, but I might be.
I'm just saying 10 and 8.
Okay. So yeah, they have 2 gigabytes for the system. So a full gigabyte less than the Switch 2, which is actually pretty surprising. I wasn't expecting them to use 3 gigabytes for the system on the Switch 2. But all that means to me is that they better add some damn themes and music if they're gonna have all that damn memory for the system. But also, that's still 9 gigabytes for the devs versus 8 gigabytes. So memory, having a little bit more memory and having pretty decent speeds on that memory as well could be a big part of getting some of those games to 60 FPS, even if the CPU isn't as good. But yeah, the CPU comparisons is really the only one I really want to see. GPU comparisons, like they're a moot point because DLSS and all that stuff kind of makes a big difference. But I want to see how the CPU performance stacks up compared to some of these other consoles. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's all I gotta say on specs. All right. We blazing through these. I ain't gonna lie. Let's talk about the not fun stuff. Let's talk about some politicking, because politicking is now a part of gaming because of a certain thing that has been trying to kill our pockets, and that's tariffs. Because Sony has finally addressed the tariff situation, and they have said that they are considering passing on the price of tariffs to consumers in order to mitigate the impact on its bottom line. Sony also opened to manufacturing PS5 in the United States, which I don't know how they're gonna do that and keep the costs down, but so yeah, obviously we already talked about Xbox and them raising the prices due to tariffs last week, and we know the Switch situation. They had to take down their console after seeing the tariffs go up in Vietnam, and then they got taken away in Vietnam, and then they were like, yep, but they still increased the price of accessories because there's just a general tariff on all of these countries that they still have to consider. So yeah, PlayStation is obviously impacted by these tariffs as well, and it was obvious that they weren't just going to eat the cost of the tariffs for long. So there is a chance that we will see the PS5 Pro increase in price down the line. But I think it's going to be a little later, because we got some news about the tariffs in China specifically. And that is that supposedly...
Hold on one second.
Yeah, go ahead. Supposedly, the US and China have reached an agreement, and they have put tariffs on pause for 90 days, which is the same pause that we got for all of the other countries. So it's really just been a back and forth between China and the US. But now they're also on pause. Now there is a general 30% tariff that is still in place, but that 145% tariff that we kept talking about is no longer in effect. So with that being said, I think PlayStation is probably going to hold off for a little while longer. Now 30% is still pretty significant at the end of the day, but it's still something that PlayStation can probably hold off on for a little longer. But how do you feel, Subeg?
I think that they're still gonna do it eventually.
Oh yeah.
The talks, because it's a 90-day like pause, right, or something like that.
And it's still 30%. It's not the 145%, but it's still a 30% tariff.
Still something. Yeah. They'll probably increase the prices for sure. But I do know that Sony, like, because they anticipated this, so they have already imported a ton of PlayStation, so they do have like the room to hold off on increasing the prices for now, but they'll do it eventually.
Yeah. Now, with them putting the pause on tariffs in China, Xbox, you did it again. Xbox donkey of the month for sure. Because all y'all had to do
was just wait.
And y'all would have had to make a fucking fool of yourselves. I don't have a donkey emote. What's I don't even know which one to put for this one. That's all y'all get.
It's all good.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
So yeah. Xbox, why?
Why?
All y'all had to do was wait and just not jump on this as soon as possible, and y'all could have had the goodwill, still been in the good graces after all these great games. Instead, y'all did it to yourselves. Now, Subeg,
yeah,
are they about to run back those price increases?
Nah, fam. They ain't about to do that. I wish, but I don't know.
They gonna run back the prices.
Yeah?
I'll give it a week. By the next time we do a show, Xbox gonna run back at least the console prices. Maybe not all the way, but they gonna run back some of them.
I don't know, bro.
Because, well, never mind. Let's see. Xbox never said it was about tariffs, right? They specifically just kind of, they never actually said anything about it being tariff related, if I'm remembering from their statement. Nintendo specifically said it was tariffs that made the what's it called increase. And then also when they were looking at when they took the pre-orders down, that was also due to tariffs. So they were specific with it. Now, I thought Xbox wasn't saying anything about tariffs because, you know, Microsoft and Donald Trump, they they embed together.
Yeah, sure.
So obviously they can't specifically like be like, oh yeah, Trump is the reason that we're increasing our prices. So I think because of their relationship, they're not gonna say things like that. But at the same time, Xbox usually, I would say if it was 1 year ago, maybe, yeah, like 1.5 years ago, we know Xbox would have walked this back with the quickness, 24 hours. If the tariffs would have happened, and then they would have raised the price, and then as soon as they see the tariffs come back, if Phil was still in charge, he would have been like, drop the prices back, you know. But there's, even though they try to act like Phil and everything, they try to act like it was all Phil's idea and had nothing to do with Satya Nadella and all this other stuff. We know that Satya Nadella is running the shit over there.
Yeah, fuck.
So if that's the case,
Sure.
like I said,
It's
Phil,
sure.
I feel like Phil would have already walked this back. But if it is like we say, and Microsoft is the real ones in charge, they don't care. We know damn well Microsoft does not care.
Nah, they don't,
like,
bro.
well, more money for us.
Pretty much.
But I'm still giving them the benefit of the doubt. Microsoft, you got 7 days to walk this back, okay? After that,
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
That's funny.
but yeah. What do you think they're gonna increase the price to? If you think they're just gonna match Xbox when it comes to $599.99 for the regular console, I guess the digital would just go to $499.99 or
I think
$549.99.
I think it's gonna be because the digital one right now is $449, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, not in the US. Everywhere but the US, basically.
Okay, so I could see the digital one being $499, and then I could see the one that needs the disc drive to be $550. And then I could see them doing like the PS5 Pro to $749. I see them doing a $50 increase is what I'm trying to say. But I could also see them doing $100. But I think that's what it's gonna be. It's either gonna be 50 or 100.
PS5 Pro $850.
Yeah.
PS5 regular with the disc drive included. Do they even make those anymore?
Yeah, they do. There's still a SKU with a disc drive.
Yeah, with the disc drive, like the old version, or did they just phase those out for the? You either get a disc drive with it or you get the one without.
Yeah,
it.
it's literally like there's two SKUs of the Slim, but they're both the same. It's like one has the disc drive and one doesn't.
But
yeah.
I mean, do they still have the old fat PS5 in development?
Oh, no.
Okay, they don't make those anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Slim no disc drive, it's gonna be $499.99, but the one with the disc drive gonna be $629.99.
That's ridiculous.
No, I'm just playing. Actually, it's gonna be like I'll say that they're gonna make the one with the disc drive like $579.99. They're only gonna increase to $80. I think the digital one's gonna increase more than the one with the disc drive.
Okay.
But yeah. As of yet, they're only considering, so nothing actually confirmed. But anything else you want to say before we move on to our last topic?
No, other than actually, yeah, you could play the clip if you want.
I don't have my soundboard up, so sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, it's gonna happen sooner or later.
All right.
Yesterday's price is not today's
There
price.
you go. Yep. Exactly.
All right. Last topic. So, back to this Arc System Works leak. Actually, this topic is multiple topics, but it's all one topic, and that's the topic of Nintendo bad. Because that's
Nintendo bad.
Nintendo bad. That's what everyone likes to hear. Haven't you seen on Twitter? We love when Nintendo bad. You see Jez Corden all over there looking for every piece of bad news for the Switch 2 so that he can post all his Xbots, and then they can be like, yeah, man, Switch 2 bad. And then Jez is like, yeah, bro, Switch 2 bad indeed. Shout out to Jez, that's my boy. So yeah. Now, there's one thing that I'll get out the way that is actually bad. And that is, this is actually from the Arc System Works leak. And this was something that was rumored and we've talked about before, but we have confirmation and it's actually worse than the rumors suggested. Thanks to the Arc System Works leak, it's now confirmed that Nintendo has only made 2 types of Switch 2 cartridges available to developers: 64GB cards and game key cards. That is it. There is no smaller 16GB card or 8GB or 32, whatever they were trying to say. There was 2 different types. There is literally only 64GB or game key card. That is developers' only choice.
Wow.
And that is exactly why we see all of these devs opting for the game key cards. Now,
Yikes.
when you look at the Xbox and PS5, they only offer one disc size, 100 gigs. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because that 100GB disc drive costs developers like $1 to $2 max. Do you know how much a Switch 2 cartridge costs for developers? Now, this isn't confirmed, but Digital Foundry asked a few developers what the cost of these cartridges are. And you know what they said? $16.
Ooh.
$16 per cartridge.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
So when you look at Cyberpunk 2077, they're taking a $16 hit on every copy physically. That's crazy.
Fucking wild.
And you know, I've had my theory.
It kind of does prove it. It kind of.
No. My theory. Well, I did say that like the $80 price was because of the price of cartridges.
One of the factors.
Definitely the biggest factor for them moving to $80. If the cartridge prices were about the same as they were on the Switch 1, I don't think we would be seeing $80 games at all. But I said that depending on the type of Switch cartridge, that's gonna determine the price of the game. If 64 gigabytes, they'll be 80, but if it's a smaller cartridge, it'll be 70. Because it made sense with Donkey Kong being a smaller game, and I was like, oh, it could probably fit on a 16. Probably 16 is that smaller one that we never got confirmation of. Well, now the reality is that both of those are on 64 gigabyte cartridges. So it seems variable pricing, just like Doug Bowser said, is the real, like that is the real of it. Depending on the cost of development and the scope, the scale of the game, the IP, all of that, that is going to determine if they go to 80 or if they go to stick with 70. Now, the thing is, I don't see them. I don't see the variable being anything but 80 or 70 when you have 64 gigabyte cartridges, because if they make a Metroid Prime remastered for $30 today, you only getting $14 out of that, and that's not even including shipping costs and all of the other stuff that come with it. That's only for the cartridge alone. So I think this is gonna end up, or we're just gonna see like all digital titles for like their smaller games, like say
all key cards.
Oh yeah, game key cards still exist, I guess.
Yeah,
but I don't think we'll see Nintendo only using like, because I would expect Nintendo to not use game key cards because it's their own platform. But with this, like if they make a smaller game that they want to sell at $30 or $40, there's no way that they're putting it on the cartridge, on a 64 gigabyte cartridge, because that's gonna eat all of the margins for that game. And it sucks, honestly. Like, it sucks because now devs are not able to make physical games like they were doing before. Like the ones that were actually doing physical games, they're definitely not going to be doing it on Switch 2. And it's like these devs now, when I look at Marvelous, who are like putting all of their games, big and small, on these 64 gigabyte cartridges for goodwill's sake, it's like, bro, honestly, like seeing this now, I'm like, y'all could have just got the game key cards. I wouldn't put it, like I would not put it against anyone. Like I was calling out Sega and Capcom and all these dudes. I was like, yeah, look at y'all, Marvelous and CD Projekt Red, they the real ones. Now I'm over here like, you know what? Y'all did what y'all had to do. I ain't gonna lie. Because if it was me, I would do the same thing. Because ain't no way. And it also makes sense, like Bravely Default and Puyo Puyo Tetris. We were like, bro, those games can fit on like 8 gigabyte cartridges. Why are they like, why are they not putting it on the cartridge? Now it makes so much sense. Yeah. Because they would have to buy a 64 gigabyte cartridge for this small ass $20 game, $30 game. So yeah, it works for PlayStation and Xbox because they're cheap ass discs. But this model does not work for this platform. I don't understand what they were thinking, except that
yesterday's price is not today's price.
So, what do you think of this? Like, what do you think the reasons that Nintendo, like, why is Nintendo only doing 64 gigabytes? Even though on a Switch they had literally 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Yeah, it's I would honestly just say it's to either cut costs or to have a little bit more profit. But I don't know though, like I feel like this is something that they could definitely change.
Oh yeah.
Going forward, like this isn't something
that's permanent.
Like
they can
exactly
just like they made 32 gigabytes later down the road. That thing's released.
Yeah.
This might be a launch thing just to kind of streamline the launch.
Yeah,
but
the production. Yeah. Yeah, I could be just in copium right now, but because I like physical games. Like I like the fact that it's, well, for the most part, they're on the discs and stuff or on the cartridges. But I also, like, I don't want to give them too much props for the game key cards, but at least they're differentiating them. Because like on the Xbox and the PlayStation, like you kind of got to go to like YouTube or something, or
Yeah.
like
You don't get a
like
heads up.
you don't. Exactly. You don't get a heads up saying like, oh, this isn't. But on the Switch 2, it's gonna be like, yeah, no, this is a game key card. So I kind of like that, but I don't like the fact that it's that is the reason why a lot of the devs are opting in for the game key cards. That doesn't make me happy. But I don't know. Hopefully they change it.
Yeah, so I think it is mostly to streamline the production, which obviously will save the money.
Yeah.
Which it's saving Nintendo money, but it's not saving any of the devs any money on that fucking cartridge. The third party
Yeah.
devs, at least. So there is that, and like you said, things could always change. They could always produce other sizes later down the line.
Yeah.
I would say if you only have two, 64 and 16 would probably be the best option, because most of the Switch third party, like Marvelous games, or like something like a Astral Chain, or something like a anything from like Platinum, those are usually gonna fit on a 16 gigabyte cartridge. The ones who are known Nintendo third-party developers, like they know how to optimize and keep their file sizes small. Now the big people, the ones who've been skipping Nintendo, and they're finally coming back. Borderlands 4, that's gonna be like a 40 gigabyte game on Switch 2. Obviously we've seen Cyberpunk is 60, like literally barely fitting on that 64 gigabyte cartridge, like 60 gigs flat or something like that. Those devs are gonna need that 64 gig. They're most likely gonna exceed like 32, most likely. But I feel like a Persona, that Persona 5 Royal on the Switch was only 10 gigs. And I that's what I'm saying. Like, there are devs who know how to who know how to compress and optimize size for the Switch when they make a Switch version of their game. And then there are devs, when Call of Duty comes, it ain't even gonna fit on that 64 gigabyte. So I think 16 gigs is that perfect middle ground. If they're only gonna do one more size, I think they should offer a 16. I feel like we get a lot more support, or at least we'll have like devs put in half the game on the cartridge. At that point, just do the game key card. That's what's the point. But yeah. But there might be a little evil Nintendo motive in there somewhere. Just a little tiny like devil inside of them saying, you know what? This would be a good way to kind of move all these people over to digital, because they gotta download the game anyway. Might as well why go to the store and go buy the game just to download the game when you can just do it from home. And then they see all these third parties that aren't putting the games on the cartridge anymore. They only getting game key cards. They'll start to buy those third parties in the Nintendo eShop, because if they buy it at GameStop physically, we not getting 30%. But if they buy it in the Nintendo eShop, we getting 30%. Maybe even Nintendo was like, we can do this. We can push them to digital even more now. except that in the Switch 1 era, instead of like in Switch 1 era, it was about incentivizing players to go digital with the gold coins and with the vouchers. They weren't making physical worse like they are. They're making physical non-existent, so you don't have a choice but to go digital. But back then they were like, nah, we're giving you better options if you go digital. And now we don't even have those options on the Switch 2. At least not as of yet, or at least not that we know of. But yeah, I wrote that in my articles. I had to give evil Nintendo side. What would be their evil motive, and what would be the like? Well, they kind of had to, if like, or I shouldn't say had to, but it makes sense for them to do it this way, and then they have their evil take as well.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I don't like that this is the case, even though I'm not a physical guy at all. Like I really don't care.
Yeah,
I'm all in on digital, on the all digital future. Everyone say all digital future. But yeah. But I like this is still for all my physical brethren out there. I feel for y'all. So it is what it is. Hopefully what we said comes to fruition, and later down the line we do start to see some more of those, or some more sizes start to come out. Get a 8, 16, and 64, and y'all should be good.
Yeah.
All right, but that's not the only thing that people were bitching about when it comes to Nintendo this weekend, or I should say this week, because Nintendo updated their EULA. And because of that, everyone lost their shit. And what was it that they updated in the EULA? Nintendo, or at least this is how the GameSpot put it. Nintendo has updated their EULA, so they retain the right to brick any Switch 2 console that violates their terms, including tampering or installing unauthorized software.
that's fucking crazy.
So this caused quite a frenzy. Jez Corden was out there saying Nintendo's the devil, and all of this other stuff. All the usual suspects jumped on this news. But even I was like, damn, bro, like that, y'all, like, or not y'all as in, but like Nintendo, like I understand y'all trying to fight piracy, but did you have to take it this far? But how do you feel about this? Being able to brick a Switch if they install any unauthorized software.
I feel like
Actually, let me pull up the actual thing so we can get a better. So there was actually two parts besides just the bricking the Switch, because let's see if I can get one that has all of those. All right, let's see. Where is it at? Okay, so here's the other one. So, dispute resolution, binding arbitration, class action waiver. Please read this section carefully because it requires you and Nintendo to arbitrate certain disputes and claims and limits the manner in which you and Nintendo can seek relief from each other. The arbitration provision precludes you and Nintendo from suing in court, having a trial by jury, or participating in a class action. You and Nintendo agree that arbitration will be solely on an individual basis and not as a class arbitration, class action, or any other kind of representative proceeding. You and Nintendo are each waiving the right to trial by a jury. So basically, if you were to, you can't sue them basically over something Switch 2 related in a class action lawsuit or anything otherwise. And then Nintendo is also like, but we won't sue you either for whatever for playing your games on your Switch 2 either. So it's a win-win if you think about it. So, and I can't find, oh yeah, I think this is it. So, subject to the terms of this agreement, Nintendo grants you a non-exclusive revocable license to use the software solely on the console for your personal, non-commercial use. For clarity, the software is licensed, not sold to you, and you may not make use of the software except as expressly authorized by this agreement. Without limitation, you agree that you have not A. Publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create derivative works of any portion of the software. Or B. Bypass, modify, decrypt, defeat, tamper with, or otherwise circumvent any of the functions or protections of the console or the software, including through the use of any hardware or software that would cause the console or the software to operate with any unauthorized, illegal, or pirated software or hardware. Reinstall, or C, reinstall any prior version of software on the console or otherwise obtain or install any version of the software other than through distribution methods provided by Nintendo. D, install or use any software which Nintendo identifies as an unauthorized copy, or from which one or more unauthorized copies have been made. Or E, exploit the software in any manner other than to use it with the console in accordance with its documentation and intended use. Content obtained through the use of an unauthorized device or through the unauthorized modification of the console or the software may be removed. You agree not to access or use the console or the software in an unauthorized or unlawful manner, or to access the consoles, devices, accounts, or data of others, including Nintendo, without their or our consent. You acknowledge that if you fail to comply with the foregoing restrictions, Nintendo may render the console and/or the software permanently unusable in whole or in a part. All right. So now, after hearing this, how are you feeling about this EULA update?
Fucking Nintendo, bro. It pretty much is saying like, oh, you don't own any of the shit that you pay for, is how I feel. It's like, you know, I feel like the people that go into the consoles and like do all the tweaking and twerking and all that, and like modifying and hacking,
homebrew,
yeah, all that, they'll probably find a way to bypass this. So honestly, this really just affects the casual consumers more than it does them, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's Nintendo. This is what they do. This is what they do.
Are the casual consumers tweaking and twerking their Switch though?
No, but I'm saying like this, like, I'm not saying in that aspect, but I'm saying like maybe not even getting penalized, but I guess I should say like this doesn't penalize the people that aren't doing it, but it's like, in a sense it does kind of affect them because they're making all these changes for the people that are doing the tweaking and twerking. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo's in their rights to do it, I guess. I mean, their lawyers always be working and shit, so yeah, I mean, do we really even own anything? Does their EULA say anything about the console too? Like the console isn't like ours to own, it's also just ours to license or some shit like that?
No, just the part that they can render it.
Got it.
Render it permanently unusable.
Okay. Damn. Well, Nintendo's gonna do what Nintendo does.
All right. But what if I told you that this was not an actual update and that this was always the case? Even on the Switch one. But
okay,
what if I told you even more so that this has been a thing even before the Nintendo Switch, and that PlayStation has been doing the same thing in their EULA since PS3? What if I told you that since the PSN debacle back in the PS3 era, this has been something that they have literally had in their EULA since. Removing the right to collectively sue Sony, that was the last time they had a class action lawsuit when it comes to the console. The last class action lawsuit that they had was the one with the key cards that they weren't giving out anymore to third parties. But since then they've had the no class action lawsuit clause, but also they have the same clause that says that they can render your software or hardware unusable if needed. But
wow, I didn't know that.
The only thing that Nintendo did was update the wording on the EULA, but this is something that they have already had. And the thing is, have you heard many people talking about their Switches being bricked? Even after all the hacking that they do? Now, what they will usually do when a game has been copied and it's on the internet, that copy of the game will result in, like, that copy of the game will be flagged. And anyone with that copy of the game on the servers, like once you're on the servers, your account will be locked. But they never go as far as like literally killing your Switch. You'll have to put a new account on it and all that. But I can't think of any case where Nintendo has actually bricked someone's Switch. So okay. I'm pretty sure Xbox is the only one who does not have this in their EULA. And this is, let's see. So this is literally from the Wii. So your Wii console and Wii network service are not designed for use with unauthorized software, services, or devices or non-licensed accessories, and you may not use any of these with your Wii console or the Wii network service. Such use may be illegal, voids any warranty, and is a breach of this agreement. Such use may also lead to injury to you or others, or cause performance issues or damage to your Wii console or the Wii network service. We and our licensees and distributors are not responsible for your damage or loss caused by unauthorized software, services, or devices or non-licensed accessories. We may take steps to disable or delete any other unauthorized software, services, or device installed in your Wii console, for example, by detecting and disabling them through the Wii network service and/or game software. If we detect unauthorized software, services, or devices, your access to the Wii network service may be disabled and/or the Wii console or games may be unplayable. So this is the Wii. And they've literally had this verbiage in the Wii, the Wii U, Switch 1.
Okay.
PlayStation has had this verbiage, PS3, PS4, and PS5. So why is this a thing all of a sudden? And I tell you why. Because it's getting clicks when it has to do with the Switch 2. Any negativity. Now, you could say, oh, I mean, this doesn't make it right just because it's been there forever. But yeah, I guess you could say that it isn't right. It shouldn't be there. You can make that argument for sure. But people are going over here saying that, oh, Nintendo is just gonna use this to abuse their rights and are gonna just brick your console if you put any homebrew. Bro, people have been homebrewing Switches this entire generation, and their Switches are still intact. I still have a hacked Wii, a homebrew and hacked Wii. My Wii has not been made unplayable. My 3DS was hacked and homebrewed. My 3DS has not been made unplayable. So, like, the Switch is probably the only Nintendo console since the Wii that I haven't done any homebrew or any kind of software on. And yet, all like, none of them have had any issues. Now, obviously, there are certain steps that you're supposed to take when you're doing stuff like this, so that you don't come under the, what the fuck are you doing? My camera just decided to jump out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on with him. There are certain steps you're supposed to take, but even then, like, I've never been the most, like, super cautious about it. I just kind of follow a tutorial and then call it a day and be like, yep, it's working. Now I do have a MIG Switch cartridge that I'm still scared to put in my Switch. Like, I've had it, but everyone who has been using this has been banned, so I'm not even gonna attempt it until I get my Switch 2 and I can take this account off the original Switch. But yeah, man, it's FUD. It's literally FUD. That's all it is. Like, people saw this, they saw an opportunity, and they were like, oh yeah, we about to get some clicks today. Because nothing has changed. Just the verbiage of, or I shouldn't say, I don't even think they changed the verbiage of this particular section. It's just that they got the EULA update, and then someone looked through it and saw that this was here, and it was probably always there in the exact same words. They were just like, oh, so they added this. So yeah, I hate the internet right now. It is so dumb with this Switch 2 stuff. That's why I just can't wait for the Switch 2 to just be out and all of this shit to just fucking die, because everyone is looking for that piece that's gonna get them, that's gonna blow up. So do you still feel the same way? You still feel concerned, I guess, or I wouldn't say concerned, but like,
actually, yeah, no, that does change it. I didn't know that PlayStation had the lawsuit thing in their EULA or whatever. I thought, that kind of, I think does the lawsuit stuff protect them from getting like oh, your camera's doing that shit again, but is your oh no, it's good. Does the lawsuit protect them from like if there is Joy-Con drift and getting sued for that? Like, does that clause protect them for that, or is it more just on like the software side?
They got sued for it though. They were in a, if the lawsuit isn't still going, they were definitely in a lawsuit because of the stick drift. So I guess not. Because they had two different lawsuits on stick drift. So yeah. I guess that wouldn't be covered under that.
Okay. But yeah, I guess it changes things. I still feel like people are gonna fucking hack the shit out of it.
Bro, of course.
People are gonna break the shit out of it.
Now, I hope that Nintendo actually has some. I just because I just want these PC pirates to finally suffer and have no choice but to play Nintendo games on Nintendo hardware. Yeah. I hope that they get this shit locked down tremendously. Like Fort Knox no, like you're not pirating shit on the Switch too. I hope to God that they get this figured out, because I'm tired of seeing every 5 seconds. I'm just gonna play this on my PC. I don't need no Switch. I can just play it on my Steam Deck. Obviously, the Steam Deck not running anything on the Switch too. But yeah, I don't want to go another 7 years hearing that shit. So Nintendo, get that shit locked down, please. And all of y'all spreading Twitter accounts, journalists, Jazz Corden, count your days. Do some real journalism. Y'all wouldn't have to, go. Y'all see the first piece of news, put it out there without even actually backing it with extra data points that kind of, like,
yeah.
It's always, or I should say, journalists only want to like do the extra mile when they actually have something of interest that they want to protect. Jez Corden will always go the extra mile for Xbox, but Nintendo, first piece of information, yeah, it's going out there. But shout out to Jez though, that's my boy. But anything else you wanted to say on this topic, the topic of Nintendo bad?
Yeah, I mean, props to Xbox, man, for being like, y'all can do whatever y'all want with the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, they don't have. I didn't see anyone check for Xbox, but it was just that PlayStation was like the easy one. So I don't know if Xbox actually has that or not. But just knowing Xbox, that just seems like something that they wouldn't really have.
Yeah, especially because you can literally like go into like dev mode and shit. Yeah. And you could, well, I don't know if you can do it anymore, but you could do emulator stuff on there.
Oh yeah, they literally just added Dolphin to the emulator on dev mode. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, you can get full on Dolphin now.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But for Nintendo, yeah, this Nintendo negativity, it's working right now. I don't know why, but it's working.
I know why. It's because, man, they don't want to see me win it. No, I'm just kidding.
Those pre-orders still gonna sell out like that though.
Look, every week we got some new FUD to all this new misinformation that's spreading, and then you know what I have to do every time?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Every time we get to this topic, I should have started with that. But yeah, it's the same shit every week, just a new topic. So yeah, when are y'all gonna learn? I mean, you ain't gonna learn because you keep getting the clicks, so it don't matter. That's all that matters. But it is what it is. I just need the Switch 2 to be out so that all of that can be drowned out by people actually playing games. But with that, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. That is it. That is all we have for you guys today. Thank you all for tuning in and all the people leaving comments in the chat. We do appreciate the support. Make sure you guys hit that like because we love you guys and it helps us grow this channel. If you're not subscribed and you enjoyed the show, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated for when not Project Entitled, Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast goes live or premieres, whatever you prefer. Subegos, appreciate all that you do. Appreciate you for showing up. Appreciate you for talking games with me. Where can we find you? What you got going on?
Yeah, so y'all can find me on the same places. I'm checking in Twitter a little bit more, but twitter.com/Subeg Dollywall. Instagram, same thing, Subeg Dollywall. I have a what's Instagram's equivalent for Twitter? What's that called again? Yeah, I have a Threads. I barely post on there, but it's the same thing. Subeg Dual-Wield. Avatar Subeg on TikTok. Subagels on YouTube. Subagels on Twitch. What else am I missing? Fuck it, y'all can follow. Friend me on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo too. Nintendo, I don't know my friend code off top, but Xbox it is Avatar Subeg. PlayStation is Subagels. No numbers. I got OG names, so I'm chilling there. But yeah, y'all can reach me up on there. And then what am I gonna be playing? We're gonna be playing this finals real quick, not the finals, but I'm gonna be playing my stats finals, and then I'm gonna hit the gym probably, get some food, and then play some Doom. Excited, man.
That's what's up. As for myself, Don Otaku, you can find me on Twitter at PastaFeet F3ET. You can find me on twitch.tv/Don Solo, SOLOW. But you can also find me right here on YouTube at Don Otaku, where not only are we doing gaming or Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast every Thursday, but Project Entitled Gaming Podcast every Saturday. And that one is live. So make sure you guys pull up, leave some comments, because we do like to read them, integrate y'all into the conversation.
Yeah.
But other than that, what am I playing? Definitely still gonna be on Towerborn. Definitely gonna have to hop into Doom eventually. But now that I've put out my impressions of RuneScape, I think I'm jumping straight into Expedition 33. Like, I'm going full force into that now. So yeah, that's where I'm at when it comes to games. At least as far as I know, something always pops up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. What are we leaving the people with for the week? Get them through.
We leaving the people with don't get misinformed. Look for the correct information. Even I was a little bit on this too. Like even if it's tiny information that's incorrect, like it's still worth correcting it. Like with the because I'm working on this a little article too, and I was researching like all of Xbox's studios, and then I go onto their website and I'm like, bruh, like this shit hasn't even been updated in like a fucking year or two. Like so it's like I prefer correct information, even if it's tiny little tidbits or even if it's big news. Like definitely chase correct information for sure.
Yeah. The first piece of news, or I shouldn't even say the first piece of news, because y'all motherfuckers don't even read the article. The first headline that you see is usually not the info. That's not gonna be all of the information that you need. That's what pisses me off. You headline readers, y'all take that headline, run with it, and then y'all start spreading it everywhere, and then this is how we end up where we are. Yeah. Then I gotta spend 30 minutes correcting y'all misinformation. Your fault. This podcast could have been 2 hours and 30 minutes long, but I have to do an extra 30 minutes because of y'all. So count your days. You yes, you motherfucker. Count your days.
That's all funny. No, but I was even gonna say with because there was this article with Naughty Dog saying like, oh, we think our players are gonna hate our game, and then you read the thing, it's like they're talking more so like the culture warriors, or like the culture is gonna hate on the game, and they're like bracing their main lead actress for like to take all that. So it's kind of like the headline even there is like disingenuous too. Yes. Like what's actually. So yes, please get correct information is what I'm trying to say.
Bruh.
All right, and with that, let's go ahead and get out of here. Enjoy your week, your weekend, month, year, life, all that. Peace out, everybody.
Perfect.